Hey everybody, it's Brick Waffle here, and I'm really excited to bring you episode 3. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I've had a couple of comments on the last video looking for suggestions for what to do back here in our secret passage, and one of them I thought I would work on today is an enchanting room. Now this is pretty straightforward. It's just some books and a lamp and an enchanting table, which I actually think that light from that looks pretty good. We do need to do some decoration in here, but before I get too much further, I want to figure out how to do the other suggestion, which was the armory. Now, I could just put in some armor stands and pretty easily just swap out gear with my armor stands and have different sets for different purposes with signs over them, kind of like the Iron Man room. I think that's pretty neat. But what I would really like to do is do one of those armor equippers. So I think I'm going to get a little bit of materials to do some automation back here, assuming I have enough space because we are really close to our storage area back here. So that goes back a couple of blocks. So 1, 2, that's the storage area, that's the back wall. I can't really go that way. And if I go too much further this direction, I am going to run into a similar issue. Let's go ahead and look. I think I can dig back here a ways, but if I go one more block this direction, and I don't have Silk Touch, so I don't want to do that with me, that should hit those chests. So we've got a little bit of room to work with here. I'm going to try and find one that fits into a 4-wide area so that we still have a little room to decorate as well when we're done. So I'm going to go do a little bit of looking online, see if I can find a design that I like, and maybe tweak a little bit for my uses, and I will be right back with you guys here in just a moment. Alright, well, we have a little bit of an issue here, so you might not even be able to see this. Maybe you can. This little block here, and there's a button on this chisel block. I used a design that Zoomovoid came up with for 1.8 slime block armor equippers, and it works great some of the time, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. So that time it kind of worked to put me inside the block. That time it worked perfectly. I even took the heart of damage at the end. And now it's going to keep doing it. But I was having some problems a minute ago when I wasn't recording where it would put me down there like that, yeah, and then it wouldn't fire correctly, and now I'm trapped down here and I have to cut my way out. So I don't think this is reliable enough for me to really use, unfortunately, so that is, well, it's unfortunate. So we're going to have to think of a different design, and I will resume in a moment. Okay, so we have a different design. It's fairly obvious that this is a little armor equipper room. We do have 4 dispensers here and one at the top, and if we walk in, you can hear that they all click on. And if we fill this up with items, I don't have armor on me at the moment, but let's go ahead. We have 10 redstone total, so let's put 1 in each of these and make sure that all 4 of them fire off. And back here, oops. So we have 6 now. If we walk in here, we should end up with 10. Let's put that on the hotbar so we can tell right away. And it didn't work. Fantastic. Alright, so this design is actually fairly straightforward. You can see the dispensers here. There's also one in the ceiling you can probably see, and this is just walk in, and you can see from the armor bar that I have all 4 pieces on. Let's just take those 4 off again. Oops, and throw that brick out. Let's see, we'll throw a chest in there, legs in there. It doesn't matter which one goes in which spot. And let's see if we can do this in F5 mode. So I walk in, boom, and I am armored up. So that will work for now. We'll have to do a little bit more decorating in this room, but mechanically that is pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek back here. You can see that well, maybe you can't see. From underneath this block, we are pulling a signal in from that pressure plate. It's going up to both sides here. This one is powering this dispenser, and it's also powering this block, which is powering this dispenser, and basically all of that redstone with 5 repeaters. And it just works. So that's great. It's really easy for us to use. We're going to throw those blocks back there for now. And next thing I have to do is make a few armor stands and decorate this place up. Okay, I have done some decorating, so let's go ahead and peek back here. You can see we've got a nice ceiling here. That's blue stained clay. It actually looks a little bit purple to me. And you can see there's some lights. There's Chained Heart right above us. He's probably going over to something, maybe the rabbit cooker up there, or potentially the slime farm. But anyway, we have an anvil on the floor here, so we can use that to repair things. We've got our enchanting table, which should be able to go up to 30 levels. Yep, we don't have enough right now. We've got 22, but it does go up to 30 levels with these books. We have our lit armor stands, which I think look pretty good. Our armor equipper, and here is Chained Heart with a Wither Skull. That's pretty cool. So let's just go ahead and throw some armor on these stands. And let's see. Let's get all of this stuff out of the way. And we'll put the iron and the gold back here. So let's do that. And that one. And then we're going to have to put the gold on the other one. And that iron might need to be enchanted at some point just because it tends to blend in a little bit right now. And then we're going to come over here. And we're going to do this with the leather armor as well. So we've got our black leather outfit for nighttime stealth missions. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I just need to go craft up some more armor for the armor equipper, and I think we are going to be done with this little project. Okay, we are outside by the Christmas tree, and you can see Torquata's castle coming along in the distance. We also have a couple of new folks that have joined us. Livodaz, or Livodaz, I'm actually not sure how it's pronounced. Maybe he can correct me. He just joined our server yesterday, so we can look forward to some things from him. I guess he is not yet recording YouTube videos, but has some intentions to do so. Seemed like a nice guy, and he's already off to a pretty good start. And if we go over this way, let's go ahead and sprint over here. Somebody you guys might recognize if you watched my first vanilla Let's Play series. Actually, it was our Bucket Survival series. Let's see if he's got anything. He has a pillar of some kind at Santania. So he joined rather late in our Bucket Survival series and didn't get to stick around long before we ended up switching over to a couple of other things like Mod Sauce and then over to this Realm server. But he's now here. Looks like he has cut himself a bit of a stairway. And hello, cow and chicken. We do have a few runaways, I think, from the farm over there. But I think he's going to plan to build something rather tall that direction. And I believe that Sakala has told me that she is interested in putting up a dwelling of her own. I know we have our house together over here, but she might be building something interesting over towards Torquata as well. So lots of things to look forward to. We have Zeotech's next thing here. I'm never sure whether to call him Chained Heart or Zeotech. I know he's very, very much looking forward to the name changes in Minecraft so he can get all that sorted out. I'm just going to start calling him Zeotech. I think that's what he would prefer, even though it says Chained Heart in game for now. We'll just pretend it doesn't. But if we go up this way, I have some other exciting news. We did put in the auto smeltery thing that Tango Tech built a while back, so you can drop everything in there and it automatically distributes things across. That's an awesome little thing. You should check that video out at some point. I'll try to put the link in the description here, but that's something Tango Tech put together. And looks like we have a couple of captive villagers here. I think that's probably for, maybe it's for Sonata Block. I'll have to find out. Actually, that doesn't seem very safe. It seems like a zombie could just walk right in here and kill them both. All right, well, anyway, so I'm sure somebody's in the middle of something there, and we'll get back to that. And wait for it. I know, we're running. It's not very exciting. We did decide to move the spawn chunks, actually. So the server spawn has moved, and you can see that's one corner of it right there with that kind of pink granite pillar. And over here, yeah, some of you recognize this if you watch Hermitcraft. Sonata Block has been working on the Iron Titan. So that's another of Tango's designs. We are very much looking forward to having that. We've got some villagers. I think Zeo has a breeder set up for those now. Maybe that's what the intention was with those guys back there, was to bring them over here rather easily. This now is server spawn. This block right here is right at the world spawn. So this is just a little bit north of that. That's good. It shouldn't interfere. There should be no wooden doors within range of this once it's up and running. That could be very problematic for us. But let's go here and take a look real quick. Iron Titan. Yep, there it is. So you're going to see a lot more of this. There's going to be some water streams. It's going to kill all the golems. If you've seen Tango Tech's video, you'll know exactly what this does. If you haven't, absolutely go check that out. In fact, his latest Hermitcraft, as of the time that I was recording this video, was him putting the finishing touches on storage. So I don't think we're going to duplicate that part. We'll probably come up with our own storage system, but it is going to be nice to not have to worry about iron anymore. I'm really excited about that. We kind of ran ourselves out of iron making all these hoppers for the smeltery system put together. And I should really stop sprinting around with only 7 more rabbit left. Okay, so we're going to go back towards our base and take a look at a couple of other things. So one thing we have to decide is where we want to put the community nether portal. We may end up with a few more people joining our server at some point, but right now I think we're fairly stable with the people that we have. Well, that looks like that could be a little bit of a drop. That's pretty cool too. You can actually see down there with the torch under the ice. Somebody's been lighting up caves. That's good. And this is the skeleton farm that Zeo is talking about. So he's just AFKing here to get some bones. Looks like he's interacting with doors to make sure that he doesn't get disconnected from the server. That's one thing I'm not happy about with Realms. I doubt Mojang's listening to this, but if they are, it'd be really nice if you'd let us set our own player inactivity timeouts. I think 20 minutes, which is the default, is pretty harsh, especially because walking around doesn't actually count. So you could just be riding a horse or walking around and get disconnected from the server for inactivity. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But there are a couple of ways around that, as Zeo is demonstrating. But this is another Tango's Creations. You've probably seen this before as well. all these furnaces will automatically sort out anything you have to smelt. I don't have anything to cook on me, but you throw the items you want to cook up in this top chest that says to cook. You throw all the fuel in here. It distributes the coal in charcoal into these furnaces, and it looks like people have been using that. Let's turn that collection off. I'm not sure if we have to do that to get the coal to go into here or not. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's making any difference at the moment. But anyway, when it's all done, it ends up in these chests down here. Pretty effective, really handy, and it's a lot faster than doing, well, in fact, it's 15 times faster than doing everything through one furnace because it distributes that. So, like I said, I'll put the link to that video as well. So, we have a few more plans. I know that Zio is interested in potentially doing a fountain over in this corner. We'll have to be a little bit careful now since the redstone for this little smeltery project does stick back pretty close to that. So that's something to watch out for. When we go back up here, we need to do a little bit of decorating over here at some point. This is a pretty basic stairway. It's functional, but it's not the prettiest thing in the world. We'll have to come back when we have some ideas on how to make that look a little bit better. Back inside and through here, we're going to walk back towards the rabbit farm, which looks like it's working pretty well. Let's go ahead and grab some carrots. There we go. Looks like all the carrots are grown. Replant these so that Cicala doesn't get mad at me. There we go. And let's pop over and feed some more rabbits. So if we come up here, you can see that I've replaced a lot of the granite in these builds with, what's this one, diorite, I think? The whiter material. I think that looks a little bit better in the snowy area than the granite does, and I have an idea. I want to use the granite with the nether brick in the nether to make our nether hub at some point. I don't know how many times I said nether. But anyway, we are going to do that. It's going to look pretty cool, and I think granite doesn't stand out as much in the nether. It looks like it's supposed to. We've got some rabbits down here, but now that we've just bred these guys, we're going to wait for the babies to collect down here as well. And we'll just do that a few more times before we end up cooking all of them at once. So we'll grab, well, that's perfect, 64. We'll grab the extra cooked rabbit we had from the last go-round. And we have replaced all the granite in this elevator. We took out the trapdoor with the pressure plate. I don't know why you'd need that. If you're walking over here, you're going to hit the pressure plate anyway. I think Zuma mentioned something similar in his video, and I agree. I think that's unnecessary. But this is our next big project over here, is the slime farm. And you can see when we get down here, yep, okay. Zio has started carving out channels here, so you're going to see a lot more from him on this, I believe, in the future. You can see we did go right down to just above bedrock level here, so there's not a lot of room to work with. But this is going to be really nice when it's automated. You can see that this is pretty long. It's actually 3 in a row. It's a little bit unusual, but it helps a lot with the spawn rates, and we really need to take some of this stuff out of the walls too. I don't want to do that just yet. I like having it nice and smooth. But this is definitely coming soon, and we are very much looking forward to that. You can see that we've done a lot of things now that require slime blocks. And I do have a few other designs, like the slime moat bridge, when I find a good place for that. But now, with the glass, Zio gave me a quick tip on that. With transparent blocks, you don't get that blackout flashing. And we managed to put all of the redstone lamps kind of in the side here. It's actually in the tracks. I don't know if you can see that. So it doesn't take up any room, and it works great. So this looks really good. It's very functional. And once we have the Iron Titan, we'll be able to make more regular rails very easily, more hoppers very easily. And we're going to work on the Nether Hub in a future episode, so look forward to that. If you guys do have any designs for Nether Hubs that you really like, or even Nether buildings of any kind, that's going to be something I'm really looking forward to doing, is designing some kind of building out there, maybe some kind of Nether castle, like a Nether fort, but using some granite and some other materials to make it not just single and monotone. Alright, so next week is Christmas. You can see we've got the Christmas tree out here. We'll probably leave that up a little bit after Christmas. I do have a Christmas Eve episode planned if I can get everything lined up right. I know I normally do these videos on Thursday afternoons or evenings. That's going to be a Wednesday. That's going to be cool. I have already some supplies. I don't want to give away anything else, but if other block farmers are watching this, you can look forward to some Christmas presents. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do let me know what else you think I should build. I know we've got a lot more room to dig. We're in the top of a mountain, and we only have a little bit of room back here. But the further we go down, the more space we're going to end up with. So I'm pretty happy with the way that one turned out. Let's get pushed out of here. That's kind of funny. I don't know if I like the style. I kind of like the wood and the blue clay and the recessed lighting. I think that looks pretty neat. I'm not super thrilled with this, but it is going to work. I think I could do a better design, but it doesn't really have to be hidden because it's already in a hidden room. And we do always have this armor back here if we need to. I really wish you could dye iron armor. That'd be a great suggestion for Mojang to put in at some point as well. But we've got our enchanting room, we've got our armory. Thanks to the Nuke Brothers for giving me that suggestion on YouTube comments. If you guys do have other suggestions in the future, absolutely let me know that as well. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I know I said I had another project, but I am looking at running out of time for today. I hope you did like this video. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button. If you really liked it, then please subscribe. And as always, I've been Brick Waffle. Thank you for watching.